3 months ago, she was still the envied Mrs. Cohen, wearing Chanel suits and pearl necklaces, enduring his repeated late nights and lies. Until that day, she found an autopsy report template with her name in his study, along with a syringe filled with blue toxin. And the homeless man who always wrote stock codes in the fire escape turned out to be a traitor her mother had saved years ago. His evidence was enough to ruin Bradley completely. This marriage that began with deception ended in revenge. Yet as she touched the strawberry hairpin on her chest, she remembered the girl who stole it from her at the age of 6, her twin sister, and the only ally in this conspiracy. Outside the floor-to-ceiling windows of the boardroom, the Los Angeles sunset gilded Cohen Technologies' tower in gold. Bradley Cohen stood in front of the holographic projection, his slender fingers sweeping through the air as blue data streams of AI algorithms burst like fireworks. This deep learning model will increase our image recognition accuracy by 47%. His Oxford accent rang clear in the silent meeting room, the rose tattoo peeking from his cuff as he moved, and half a strand of blonde hair that didn't belong to Lillian was caught in the stitches of his custom suit. Lillian sat in the front row, her back straight beneath her Chanel suit. She watched the roll of Bradley's Adam's apple as he spoke, but her gaze suddenly fixed on the inside of his right cuff. That coral hue looked exactly like the limited edition lipstick Secretary Sophia had shown off in the elevator yesterday, its metal tube engraved with an exclusive serial number. She ran her thumb along the edge of her phone. The lock screen displayed a photo Bradley had sent that morning from Singapore airport, but the gate time in the background completely conflicted with his current schedule. A memo popped up with the number 237. It was the 237th time he'd used business meeting to cover his tracks this month, and the number his mother had muttered repeatedly on her deathbed. Eva Carter, the chief technology officer, suddenly stood up, the coffee stain on her work pants, knees still damp. The loss function architecture of this algorithm is identical to the patent draft I submitted last week. Her heterochromatic pupils sharp under the projection's blue glow, her left hand quietly pressing the USB drive in her pocket, containing the algorithm manuscript her mother had left 20 years ago, with a dried rose petal taped to the title page. Bradley's smile didn't falter. "Ms. Carter, all technological breakthroughs stand on the shoulders of giants," he said, turning to the directors. Lillian noticed fine sweat beading on his neck, and beneath the bass notes of Joe Malone oud perfume, there was a hint of the coconut hand cream Sophia always used. She gently touched her pearl necklace, each bead embedded with a micro-storage chip, silently recording every word in the meeting room. "Shall I pull up the code version history?" Eva's voice cut through the air like a scalpel. The sapphire pocket watch around her neck suddenly popped open, revealing a corner of a yellowed birth certificate, its edge still carrying the distinctive antiseptic scent of St. Mary's Hospital, the same fragrance as Lillian's favorite laundry detergent. Lillian's nails dug into her palm. She remembered finding a note in page 237 of On the Origin of Species while sorting through her mother's old belongings that morning. Eva's eyes share the Walker family hue. The sound of Sophia's signature stiletto heels echoed down the corridor. Lillian quickly locked her phone. The latest photo in her album was of Bradley's empty office, but the window glass clearly reflected a coral lipstick print, its edge dotted with pearl crumbs she'd left on her vanity that morning. "See me in my office after the meeting." Bradley pressed Eva's shoulder, his grip jolting her monitor. The USB drive slipped from her pocket, and Eva quickly stepped on it. As he turned, Lillian deliberately knocked over her coffee cup, the brown liquid splashing onto his cuff, the coral color spreading, matching the dissolving properties of Sophia's lipstick perfectly. The directors erupted in applause. Lillian raised her hands in response, the pearl necklace tightening around her neck until she could barely breathe. As Bradley bent down to adjust her napkin, she heard his phone vibrate in his pocket. When the screen lit up, she saw the lock screen wallpaper, Sophia wearing her custom gown, standing in the rose garden of Cohen Manor. "Don't forget the dinner with SoftBank tonight," Bradley whispered in her ear, his warm breath brushing her concealer-covered neck. There was a bruise there from his grip the previous week, now hidden under a Band-Aid that concealed a tiny voice recorder. Lillian smiled and nodded, feeling the aluminum foil of her antidepressant pills in her bag. The sound of the tablets clinking was drowned out by the applause. In the reflection of the floor-to-ceiling windows, she saw Eva staring intently at Bradley's back, her fingers tightening around the pocket watch chain, the engraved 0621, her mother's death anniversary, glinting coldly. In the corridor after the meeting, Lillian deliberately slowed her pace. Eva caught up from behind, the USB drive in her work pants pocket digging into her palm. "I'd like to request access to your mother's legacy technical files," she said softly, the coffee stain on her cuff brushing Lillian's skirt, its shape eerily similar to the algorithm symbols in her mother's manuscripts. As Lillian turned, her high heels crushed the coffee stain on the carpet. "The archive password is 0927, my birthday," she said. She watched Eva's pupils contract sharply. That was also the password to her mother's safe. 20 years ago, her mother had held her and said, "Lily, 0927 is your birthday, 0621 is mine. Remember these dates. They'll unlock all the truths." The emergency lights in the technology department corridor flickered suddenly, and Eva's pocket watch slipped from her hand. The crisp sound of metal hitting the floor sent the sapphire case flying open, and the yellowed birth certificate drifted to Lillian's feet. 28-year-old newborn records from St. Mary's Hospital. Lillian bent to pick it up, her fingertips touching the creases on the paper, traces of her mother's repeated caresses on her deathbed. She suddenly smelled the antiseptic on Eva's cuff, mixed with her own laundry detergent, and memories surged. At 6, she'd had chickenpox and infected the girl in the next hospital bed, who also had heterochromatic pupils and had stolen her strawberry hairpin. It can't be. Eva's hand trembled as she snatched the paper, staring at the Walker family name embossed on the birth certificate, her nails scratching the wet coffee sleeve. The logo on the sleeve was Cohen Technologies' old design, the one her mother had helped create decades ago. The sound of fabric rustling came from the fire escape. Sophia's coral lipstick smudged Bradley's tie as she tiptoed, her skirt brushing a pregnancy-only medication bag. The edge of the ultrasound report peeking out showed obvious signs of Photoshop. The date was 2 weeks earlier than Bradley's trip to Singapore. "I'll announce your promotion at next week's board meeting." Bradley gripped Sophia's neck, his thumbs smearing coconut hand cream. "Just don't be as unreasonable as Eva, and never mention that endometrectomy you had last year." Lillian's pearl necklace snapped suddenly. As the beads rolled into the air vents, the hands of Eva's pocket watch stopped at the exact time of their mother's death, 4:27 p.m., a number eerily matching the 47% algorithm accuracy and the 237 lies in the memo. "So, I stole my own family's patent." Eva's laughter interrupted the kiss behind the fire door. She pulled a USB drive from under her shoe and waved it. "This has all the evidence of you plagiarizing my mother's algorithm, including the transfer records of your father bribing the head nurse back then." Sophia's lipstick streaked Bradley's mouth, drawing blood. As he pushed her away, he knocked over a fire extinguisher, foam splashing the scattered pearls to reveal the microchips inside. "Ms. Carter, extortion is a crime." He ground the pearls under his leather shoe, but stumbled when he saw the word twins on the birth certificate. He'd always thought the Walkers had only one daughter. "Shall I retrieve the surveillance footage from 28 years ago?" Lillian pressed the recording button on her brooch, pulling out her phone with the other hand. The screen displayed a message from Marcus. "Short cell order ready. Waiting for your signal." Her antidepressant bottle rolled to Eva's feet. The label was fake. Inside were samples of the antidote her mother had left. "Or shall we listen to your promotion promise? Or the bank statements showing your $870,000 patent cleanup fee to Sophia?" Sophia's high heels got stuck in the pearl pile. She frantically pulled out her pregnancy test report, only to drop another document, a psychiatric evaluation stating moderate delusional disorder. "Bradley, you said she was just a trophy wife." Her scream pierced the hissing foam. "You promised to marry me after Lillian's accidental death and give me all the Walker inheritance." Eva picked up the pill bottle, the foil reflecting 3 distorted faces. She suddenly remembered her mother clutching the sapphire pocket watch on her deathbed, her voice weak but firm. "Tell Eva I kept the strawberry hairpin," in page 237 of On the Origin of Species. "Lillian, do you remember when you had chickenpox at 6? You stole my strawberry hairpin." Lillian's voice cut through Bradley's Oxford accent like broken glass. "Mom said only twins infect each other that quickly, and that our eye color is the Walker family mark." She pulled an old hairpin from her handbag, its strawberry enamel chipped, revealing the engraved ENL, Eva and Lillian, underneath. The corridor lights blazed suddenly. Marcus, the homeless man, stood at the fire escape window, covered in chalk stock codes. The latest line was a short sell order for Cohen Technologies the next day, the chalk dust mixed with blue ink, exactly the same as the ink in Bradley's office fountain pen. "Mr. Cohen, long time no see." Marcus's voice was hoarse, his ring finger-missing right hand pressing against the glass. "Remember September 28th, 2017? You choked me and forced me to short medical stocks. Now it's time to pay." Lillian suddenly recalled a line from her mother's old diary. "Marcus is a good boy. If he hadn't warned me back then, the Cohens would have killed me." She looked at Marcus. His sanitation uniform collar revealed an iron shirt underneath, embroidered with the old Wall Street Journal logo. He'd once been their chief trader. As Bradley rushed for the elevator, Sophia grabbed his lipstick-stained cuff. "You promised to marry me." Her scream was cut off by the closing elevator doors. Eva held her trembling pocket watch, its second hand spinning backward to 0621, their mother's death anniversary. "We need to go to the warehouse. Marcus said your mother left server backups there." Eva grabbed Lillian's hand, her heterochromatic pupils reflecting the codes on the fire escape window. These are encrypted signals linked to dark web traders. With the evidence, Cohen Technologies stock will drop 47% at tomorrow's opening. The motion sensor lights in the underground garage flickered on slowly. Marcus stepped out of the shadows, handing over a crumpled Wall Street Journal. This capital flow chart proves Bradley transferred $30 million to the Cayman Islands, laundered through the St. Mary's Hospital Foundation. He coughed, blood flecks spotting the paper. Doctor said, I only have 237 days left, just enough to see his appeal denied. Lillian pulled out the pill bottle, pouring out an antidote tablet for Marcus. This is what my mother left. It will ease your symptoms. She saved your life with it back then. The smart lock at Cohen Manor beeped as it recognized Lillian's iris. She hurried to the study, where the Walker family's heirloom copy of On the Origin of Species still sat in its place. She entered 0927, but the safe beeped with an error. Pressing her forehead against the cold metal, her mother's voice suddenly echoed. Lily, anniversaries are harder to guess than birthdays. No one remembers the date a person dies. She trembled as she entered 0621, and the safe slid open silently. Beneath stacks of Swiss bank drafts was an autopsy report template labeled Lillian Walker, alongside a syringe, the blue liquid inside matching the toxin in her mother's blood test results exactly. She plugged in a portable hard drive. The progress bar stuck at 87% when the sound of a Maserati engine approached from outside. When the hard drive light finally turned green, pulling it out dislodged a photo. 6-year-old her and Eva eating ice cream outside St. Mary's Hospital, with a young Mr. Cohen standing behind them, clutching an envelope printed with Cohen Technologies' old logo. The front door beeped as a fingerprint was recognized. Lillian tucked the photo into her underwear, the hard drive pressed against her thigh. She grabbed On the Origin of Species, flipping to page 237, its hollowed-out compartment holding the strawberry hairpin her mother had left, matching the one in Eva's hand perfectly. Darling, the SoftBank team is already here. Bradley reached to wrap his arm around Lillian's waist, feeling the voice recorder tucked behind her back. Eva, the board has approved your resignation. That USB drive of yours is useless. I destroyed the server backups long ago. Did you? Eva suddenly pushed open the door, holding up a tablet displaying the server backup restoration progress bar. My mother left a backdoor in the servers 20 years ago, using the strawberry hairpin pattern as the key. You'll never find it. Her heterochromatic pupils glinted in the light. And did you think Dr. Hamilton was on your side? He was my mother's student. The antidepressants you had him prescribed for Lillian are actually slow-acting poison. You swapped them for vitamins long ago. Sophia burst in suddenly, throwing her pregnancy test report to the floor. Bradley, you lied to me. Dr. Hamilton said I can't get pregnant at all, but you said I'd be Mrs. Cohen. Her wig slipped, revealing a post-surgical scar on her scalp. I know you bought life insurance for all your mistresses, with yourself as the beneficiary. Lillian's name is even marked with a red cross. Lillian slowly applied coral lipstick, watching Bradley's face turn ashen in the mirror. By the way, I just approved the tech department's request to access internal network logs. She nodded at the screen. Do you think Sophia's crawler program found records of your transfers to 3 mistresses? Or your encrypted chats with the chairman? Initiate the poison pill plan immediately after Lillian's accidental death. Siren sounds approach from afar. Marcus rushed in, chalk in hand, covering the hallway mirror with stock codes. As he made the final stroke, the mirror shattered into two, revealing Bradley's left shoulder, his rose tattoo bleeding profusely. The tattoo's pattern matched the bruise on his mother's autopsy report exactly. Cohen Technologies stock dropped exactly 47% today. Marcus's silver earring jingled as he spoke. This is what you owe the Walkers and everyone you've ruined. In the courtroom, Marcus's silver earring tinkled as he stood. He stripped off his sanitation uniform, revealing an ironed shirt underneath, the Wall Street Journal's employee uniform. On March 14th, 2019, the defendant transferred $870,000 to Sofia Rodriguez via an offshore account, labeled patent cleanup fee. His ring finger-missing hand pointed to the projection screen, displaying bank statements and Sophia's receipt. This money was actually hush money to cover his plagiarism of Ms. Walker's algorithm. Bradley's custom suit wrinkled as he shifted in the defendant's chair. He whispered to his lawyer, the scab on his rose tattoo splitting, blood seeping into the Armani fabric. The tattoo he'd gotten to impress Lillian, now a symbol of his crimes. Objection! The defense lawyer's cufflink knocked over a coffee cup. The witness's mental state is questionable. He was imprisoned for financial fraud. The defendant framed me. Marcus tore open his shirt, revealing burn scars on his chest forming Cohen Technologies' stock code. On September 28, 2017, he choked me and forced me to short medical stocks, then framed me for embezzlement. He pulled out a document. This is the police report from back then and the hospital's injury assessment, with fingerprints matching the defendant's exactly. Eva's sapphire pocket watch chimed the hour. She held up her tablet, displaying Git record from the original code repository. Your Honor, these are my mother's algorithm manuscripts from 20 years ago. The rose specimen taped to the title page matches the watermark in the core of the algorithm the defendant currently uses. She pulled up a function architecture diagram, her mother's signature flickering at the bottom of each page. The defendant's so-called independent research and development is just my mother's algorithm with a new shell. Its core logic remains unchanged. Lillian suddenly stood up, pulling a tiny syringe from her underwear. This was found in the defendant's study. The blue liquid inside matches the toxin in my mother's blood test results exactly. She held up another document. This is testimony from Dr. Hamilton, stating the defendant instructed him to prescribe slow-acting poison to me, saying he wanted me to appear to die of natural causes. Gasps echoed from the jury box. Sophia covered her face, sobbing as she pulled a stack of voice recorders from her bag. These are recordings of my calls with the defendant. He said he'd give me all the Walker inheritance and marry me after Lillian died. Her voice trembled. But I later learned he bought life insurance for several mistresses, with himself as the sole beneficiary. Bradley's roar died abruptly. He stared at the tablets suddenly lighting up in the jury box, displaying surveillance footage of him kissing Sophia in the fire escape and recordings of him threatening Eva. As the bailiff's handcuffs clicked shut, the rose tattoo on his left shoulder began bleeding heavily. The blood soaking through his shirt formed a strange pattern on the police uniform. The Walker family's cipher, hidden in On the Origin of Species, translating to Justice Will Prevail. 3 months later, the brass plaque of Walker Carter Technology Group glinted in the sun. Lillian and Eva stood in their office, holding glasses of 1992 Bordeaux, wine their mother had collected, saying she'd open it on the day the truth comes out. This wine has waited 28 years for us. Eva's heterochromatic pupils reflected the blue sky outside. The coffee stain on her work pants knee now faded. Mom would be so happy if she could see this. Marcus pushed open the door, holding a newspaper with Cohen Technologies' bankruptcy liquidation on the front page. Bradley's appeal was denied. He'll spend the rest of his life in prison. He coughed lightly, his complexion much better. Doctors say your antidote is working. I'll live a long time, long enough to watch our company thrive. Lillian took a sip of champagne, the tannins on her tongue tasting like the coral lipstick from her mother's vanity. She looked at On the Origin of Species on her desk, with a strawberry hairpin and birth certificate lay neatly beside Eva's sapphire pocket watch. Its hands pointed to 4:27 p.m., the time their mother died, and the time the truth was revealed. To Mom, Lillian raised her glass, tears glistening in her eyes. To the truth, Eva and Marcus said in unison, the clink of champagne glasses echoing like the sound of test tubes colliding in their mother's laboratory, clear and unyielding.